I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make.
Yo, I got a lot of shit to say, so I'ma do this every day. I'll be writing things until I'm fucking buried in my grave. 6 feet deep under, but my body won't decay. Cause my messages are timeless, so they'll put them on display. Oh yeah, I rap with a certainty, I have a sense of urgency. A message for eternity, for everyone internally. I had some people burning me, but now they fucking learn to see I ain't the one to fuck with, now they looking nervously. And I don't really care what you think of me respectfully. You can kick rocks if you think you're fucking better, see. I will outwork you, turn you to an enemy. Hurt you so bad that you're gonna need some therapy. I got the motherfucking recipe. I've been cooking up hits, I'ma leave a legacy. You'll be looking small when you're standing right next to me. I'm 5'10", bitch, but I'm 10 feet.
Cause I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Cause I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Yeah, I'ma do it my way.
Coming out with a statement. You really changed, man, all your music and arrangement. You don't know shit, shut your mouth, you can save it. I'm the same dude that got his come up from the basement. 100 songs, 100 weeks, didn't change it. Experiments, development, intelligence, and patience. I'll do it all again, cause I never feel complacent. Let's keep the good vibes, positivity's contagious. I'm never looking back, cause I made a life that's passionate. A college graduate suppressing all his talents, yeah. He found a way to go and change, become an advocate. For taking control of your life, go out and battle. And you think you have a dream, then act on it. Get after it, get out your head and fucking capture it. You got one life to master it. Don't give up on your future, we all start losers. We're all late bloomers, gotta start
through the fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Cause I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way.
What's up, guys? How y'all doing tonight? It's good to see y'all. Let me get the pledge said.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. All right. Let's go ahead and say the hellos, and then we'll get started on part 2 of the WWE scandal. Before I get started, though, let's hit that like. There's 18. Only 5 likes is all I see right now, so it may be different on y'all's end. But hit the like, share, and subscribe. If you have subscribed, thank you so much for subscribing. If you haven't, thank you for being here. And think about subscribing for me if you don't care. Because once you become a subscriber, you're not a subscriber to us. You are family. So thank you very much. And we'll get started. First one in is Tattooed Angel. Hey, babe, how are you? We have Sunshine and then Dunlop. Hello, Dunlop and Sunshine. How are y'all doing today? It's good to see y'all. And we have Summer Thunder. Hey, Summer Thunder. It's good to see you, dear. And then we have PCT is Extreme. I'm going to always call you Tina, though. Okay? Because that's a long-ass word to say, but you'll always be Tina. So we have Tina. And Miss Rose. Hello, Miss Rose. How are you? It's good to see y'all in here. The rest of y'all that hasn't said hello, please say hello. I like saying hello to everybody. It makes me feel good when I get to tell everybody hello. And there's Deanna in Ohio. Hey, Deanna, how are you, darling? It's good to see you all. It's very good to see y'all. Now, as I've said yesterday, and then I'll say it today, we have a family member in here that I won't mention anything. She can when she wants to in her own time, but she is in desperate need of help. And I pinned it to the top of the chat if you would like to help. If you can't afford to help, you can always send prayers for her. Anything would help, the monetary or the prayers would help her a lot. And welcome in Rose Petal, Miss Joni, Brittany Blue Eyes. Welcome everybody. Mary Jane Doe. It is good to see everyone in here. It is very good to see everyone in here. And if y'all don't care, please, 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 please throw up some prayer hands for the family member that needs prayers and help in the other department. So if you don't care, throw prayer hands up in the chat for me. And it's good to see everybody in here. Now, last night we was talking about WWE scandal with Mr. Vince McMahon. Like I said, I wrestled for them one time in, hey, Deanna, in a dark match. A dark match is what is done before any of the other matches. What's up, E-Rock? Any of the matches start up. And I done that. I didn't stay for nothing else. I went on about my business, so I didn't get to meet Mr. McMahon. Now, I did meet some of the wrestlers there. And then I met him afterwards when they done the drag strip here in Bristol. It is, Blair. It is very, very crazy. I've met The Undertaker. I've met the Hardy Boys. I've met the Rock and Roll Express and Ricky Morton. He lives here in Bristol, or he did the last time I seen him. Mr. Ric Flair, met him. I've met, I didn't get to meet Brock Lesnar, but I did see him at a show one night. Didn't get to meet him, but I did see him. So I'm going to bring this up and then we'll read from where we ended last night, which was on 41. We'll start with 41 again. And y'all tell me if y'all can see that. Can y'all see that good enough? Put a 1 in chat if you can see that. So don't forget to hit the like for me. Hit that share and subscribe for me. And then just as soon as I see some ones in chat, I will continue reading. All right. Oh, yes, definitely I'll cover it. Because I was a part of wrestling. Like I said, I never got to see any of that, but I know some of the insides of the wrestling business. So, all right. Summer Thunder says 1. Dunlop says 1. Deanna in Ohio says 1. Hagen says 1. And again, thank everyone for being here. I very much appreciate it. Y'all rock. Y'all do. If it wasn't for y'all, I mean, I'd be sitting up here talking to myself and Becca because she'd be in here. I know she would. And I really do appreciate that. All right, here we go. 41. And as we know, let me recap yesterday. It's Janelle. I can't remember her last name. Janelle Grant. Janelle Grant was someone that worked for Vince McMahon, and he basically used her. He used a NDA on her, and I think an NDA. Hey, Adicor, it's good to see you, Adicor. Thank you for being here. And an NDA, in my opinion, should not be used in some things. And I heard California put it to where an NDA cannot be used if there's like physical or anything sexual related. And that's why I'm assuming but this is on the east side, East Coast. But maybe they're using it over here too. I don't really know, but and I know in California, if there's anything physical or sexual that's being done that you do not like, an NDA can be thrown out, and you can go ahead and tell your story. All right, here we go. 41. At all times relevant, WWE corporate officer number 4 was a high-ranking employee at WWE who worked with legal affairs at the company. WWE corporate officer number 4 held that position from the time of Miss Grant's initial employment with WWE until sometime in 2020. This individual is referred to herein as WWE corporate officer number 4. WWE Superstar is a professional wrestling superstar who performs at WWE branded wrestling events. During the time of Miss Grant's employment, McMahon signed WWE Superstar to a new booking contract with WWE. This individual is referred to as WWE Superstar. Hey, Gina Diamonds, good to see you. Now, as we go back into this part, yesterday he said this WWE Superstar was a UFC champion, ex-UFC champion, and was just now coming back into WWE. And in my opinion, this is just my opinion and my opinion only. The only UFC champion that was coming in over here or coming in at WWE at the time was Brock Lesnar. I'll say that till the day I die. Who they're talking about as the superstar is Brock Lesnar, in my opinion. That's just my opinion and my opinion only. All right, this court has jurisdiction over this action pursuant to 21 USC 1331 because Ms. Grant's claims under Trafficking Victims Protection Act 18 USC 1591, 1595 TVPA and her cause of action for declaratory relief under the Speak Out Act 42 USC 9401 all raise a federal question. The court also has supplemental jurisdiction over Ms. Grant's state law claims pursuant to 28 USC 1367 because the claims are so related to the TVPA claims as to form part of the same case or controversy. He's creepy as hell, honey. He's creepy as hell. Especially what we read yesterday. That was a little nasty. That was a little nasty. Venue is proper in this district pursuant to 28 USC 1391B2 as a substantial part of the events or omissions giving rise to the claims occurred in the District of Connecticut. So this was in Connecticut. All right. Factual allegations. 1A. All right. 1 is Miss Grant's history with McMahon and John Laurinaitis and WWE. Now, as I told y'all before, this Laurinaitis, and if y'all remember any wrestling back in the day, if y'all have heard of the Road Warriors, this John Laurinaitis here is the brother of Animal from the Road Warriors, and Animal was the one that had the mohawk. All right. 1A, Miss Grant's introduction to McMahon turns into a 2-hour meeting between a potential entry-level employee and a billionaire CEO. Prior to having any involvement with WWE, Miss Grant was dealing with a profound grief following the loss of her parents, whom she cared for full-time as their sole caretaker. So this man got this girl to come in. Well, someone told McMahon that he or they or whoever, I don't know if it's a man or woman that told him, but he knew of a woman that needed a job and needed a job financially and emotionally so they could, get it off their mind about the loss of her parents, or try and make it easier for her, in other words. And he done that, but he also got his rocks off. Uh, 47. After her family passed away, Miss Grant dedicated herself to finding a gainful employment. During this time, Miss Grant often ran into McMahon's two professional assistants in the building which they lived, one of whom was a former grade school classmate of Miss Grant. They're not going to say who it is, but it's hard to say. Miss Grant's closest friend in the building was the resident manager. Okay, it was the resident manager that told McMahon about her. That individual is referred to herein as resident manager. Hello, Frankie H. How are you? Similar in personality, Miss Grant and the resident manager bonded over stories of adversity as they coordinated community initiatives in the building together. Resident manager was aware of Miss Grant's efforts to obtain employment. In March 2019, Miss Grant remained unsuccessful in securing long-term employment. Resident manager offered to help Miss Grant, suggesting she could reach out to the defendant, McMahon, in case he could assist, and texted him to see if he would be willing to speak with Miss Grant to provide advice about employment. McMahon responded enthusiastically and proposed times to meet with Miss Grant to discuss employment. Resident manager passed along Miss Grant's resume to McMahon ahead of the prospective meeting. Ahead of the meeting, resident manager advised Miss Grant to be energetic, as McMahon is big on energy, and talk to McMahon no differently than she talks to resident manager. Hello, Max Smith, and it is a wild story, very wild. And if anybody was here listening yesterday, I'm not going to repeat it. You'll have to go back and just listen to it. All right, 52. On or about March 23rd, 2019, Miss Grant arrived for the meeting in McMahon's condo with additional printed copies of her resume, a black notepad, and thank you cookies. Hello, Lizzo. How are you? Good to see you. Sitting at his dining table, McMahon looked at Miss Grant's resume and complimented both her communication skills and common sense. Before discussing little but their personal lives. For example, Miss Grant told McMahon about the hardship that led to the resident manager's offer to help, and described losing her parents and her family's bankruptcy and other trauma that led to her seek financial independence to ensure she would never experience losing her home again. McMahon shared stories about his upbringing, his traumatic childhood, growing up in poverty, and current family dynamics, including a separation from Linda McMahon, described as his ex and long gone. He had his marital status is an arrangement on paper for business purposes, and that he lives a quiet, isolated existence outside of the WWE. And he's full of shit. He don't live a quiet life. A quiet life is when you go home and you sit and don't do nothing, or just basically do things around your house. This man was going to parties. This man was doing nasty shit to women. Yet, exactly, Dave, he got that power from WWE, and it just corrupted him all to pieces. I'd say he was corrupted before he got the power, though. Where's it at? He outside of WWE. At the end of the meeting, McMahon told Miss Grant that he didn't just want to give her a job, but give her a life. Hey, Kiki. Thank y'all for being here. You and 3 Dot and Max and Adacor and anybody I missed. I'm sorry if I missed you. But give her a life, and that he would find a place for her at WWE. Give me just a second, guys. All right, I'm back. Mr. Alex 789. Just wanting to ask, are you aware on Twitter the people who defend Vince are saying the lady who initiated the lawsuit has false memory syndrome? That's very much possible, but I'm just reading what her attorneys have put out. And I'll go check that out. Though, thank you, Mr. Alex, for doing that, because I want to get both sides now. Right now, I'm just giving you my side of what I think happened and what I feel from this these documents here. Now, whether or not they're wrong, that'll have to be for the judge to decide. But right now, she's making him look real bad. She's making him look bad. She's making John Laurinaitis look bad. She's going to make the UFC champion look bad. But thank you for that. And thank you, Max. I won't say 99%, but I will say 90%. Don't lie about that. And man, there's the thing that she mentioned in here yesterday when I said it. I'm not going to mention it. You'll have to go back and watch it. The replay from yesterday's live. You can't make that up. I mean, you cannot make that up. And it may have happened or it may have not happened. But that's unless you're a pervert, you can't make that up. And she may well be one. But right now, I don't see McMahon coming out with anything like this. I don't see anything about McMahon doing anything. When this come out, he stepped down from WWE. In 50-some years, no McMahon is in WWE right now. The only one that's close is Triple H, and that's because he's married to Stephanie McMahon. That's the closest one. He stepped down from TKO. He stepped down from this. I'm telling you, if I got all this kind of money, I'm not going to step down from it. If I step down from it, that shows that I'm guilty. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to go with Twitter afterwards and watch some. It's Mr. Alex. Is that right? Okay, 789. Yeah, okay. I wanted to make sure I was talking to the right one. Hey, Sierra, it's good to see you. Mab's in chat. He's in here, I see. But thank you for that information, Mr. Alex. I will go over and look at it, and thank you, Sierra. I will go check it out. But we're going to go ahead and read these. And like I said, this is just my opinion on this stuff. So, stunned, Miss Grant said that she didn't know how to thank him for possibly just changing my life. McMahon responded that one simple thank you is enough and that he would accept a hug. They stood and embraced. McMahon then told Miss Grant that he'd get the ball rolling on next steps, but it was a busy time of year as WWE prepared for WrestleMania, explaining that it was WWE's Super Bowl. He then invited Miss Grant to attend as his guest, along with the resident manager, and added that he would personally select their seats to have the best possible experience. Hello, Kinsey. How are you? You can't see 3 dot? Let me see. McMahon advised her that his office would reach out to her to set up a meeting with a trusted official, WWE corporate officer number 1 at WWE headquarters. After asking if her cell phone was the best number to reach her, McMahon shared his personal phone number with Miss Grant, walked her to his door, and again hugged her while whispering, "So good." Okay, why are you going to whisper? Oh, okay. Why are you going to hug someone and whisper, "So good"? That means like if that's just weird to me. All right. B. McMahon arranges for Miss Grant to be hired by WWE while beginning to groom her for sexual exploitation. Now, like I said, these are all allegations. None of it is proved yet. These are all allegations. On March 31st, 2019, the day before Miss Grant was scheduled to meet with WWE corporate officer number 2, McMahon unexpectedly invited Miss Grant to come back to his condo for pointers for her meeting with WWE corporate officer number 2. When she arrived, McMahon gave her a huge embrace and suggested they sit on the couch. It quickly became clear that McMahon had no intention of giving her pointers for an interview except for a single direction. If the topic comes up during the meeting, Miss Grant could state they met through a mutual friend. Thank you, Rose Director. I like that name. Thank you, Rose Director. That's a new one. All right. During this time, McMahon described a surgery he had on his knee by touching Miss Grant's leg and drawing a line where the surgery had taken place with his fingers. He stated that similar to rehabbing an injury, Miss Grant cannot let scar tissue build up inside her trauma, as her vulnerability is a gift. Well, thank you. Thank you, Miss Rose. All right. 61. McMahon explained that people are intimidated around him and are afraid to touch him. McMahon added that he is an affectionate person who likes to hug and starves from physical affection. McMahon then led Miss Grant on a tour of his condo before hugging her goodbye and again whispering, "Feels so good." I also blocked you from Radical Rose account, so I can't see him there either. Can you see him from this one though, Rose? McMahon was definitely grooming, in my opinion. He's a creeper. And one thing that I will, okay, that's good, Rose. One thing, and I will say this because this was done on national TV. One thing that makes me think that he is guilty of this is during the Attitude Era, he had the kiss my ass challenge, or kiss my ass to keep your job. He would actually drop his britches on national TV and have people kiss his ass if they wanted to keep their job. It didn't matter if it was man or woman. If you wanted to keep your job and he was pissed off at you, and it may be a storyline, but still, no storyline in anybody's way should say, "Kiss my ass and you can keep my job." And he wouldn't resign. That's what I'm saying. That's what makes me, like I said, I've never met the man in person. Just I did work for him one time as in a dark match. I wrestled one dark match for the WWE. and that was years ago in Johnson City. If you quit a job, if they getting ready to drop papers, because these wasn't dropped till after he left TKO. When The Rock come back, I knew this was going to happen. They must have, I didn't know this was going to happen, but they must have already knew that something was going to drop. And that's why he had to step down as a TKO member. Then when he stepped down, they brought The Rock in to take over his TKO position as a chairperson. And he also stepped away from WWE permanent. He don't go to the office or anything like that. Like I said, 51 years. 51 years. Is a long time for a McMahon to be there. And then all of a sudden, after 51 years, no McMahon is in WWE anymore. And did all right. Where we at? 62. On April 1st, 2019, Miss Grant met with WWE corporate officer number 2, which is John Laurinaitis, at WWE headquarters for a short time. And I'm just going to say it where it says corporate officer number 2. I'm just going to say number 2. Number 2 hardly asked any questions, saying that the number 2 was figuring out where Miss Grant would be placed, and then promised to be in touch again after WrestleMania. Later that day, Miss Grant texted McMahon and enthusiastically described her meeting with number 2. She also commented on a dinosaur skull that she saw on McMahon's office wall, prompting his response. By the way, if you're a bad girl, the T-Rex will eat you. Come on. Followed by, seriously, Janelle, whenever you land in WWE, you will be a credit to the organization. On April 7, 2019, Miss Grant and resident manager were provided a VIP experience at WrestleMania, including a private transportation in a black SUV arranged by McMahon. Per McMahon's instructions, Miss Grant diligently took notes about her impressions from WrestleMania. Her first time attending such an event, Miss Grant left overwhelmed with emotion and feeling hopeful that everything McMahon promised her was becoming a reality. Over the next several weeks, McMahon invited Miss Grant to his condo on several occasions, each time assuring her that he would find her the right position at WWE. For each meeting with Miss Grant brought sample job descriptions she found online to review with him and demonstrate the types of roles she might fit in. McMahon listened to Miss Grant, asked her questions, and pointed out qualities that he described as rare gifts, including her goodness, vivaciousness, childlike innocence, and ability to be vulnerable. Okay, if a man, in my opinion, if a man sits there and tells you you have goodness, vivaciousness, childlike innocence, and the ability to be vulnerable, he's already scouting you out. He's scoping you out. He's looking at your weaknesses. He's looking at what he can do and what he can't do. So he was scoping her out, and he mentioned all of it right there to her. All things that made her an easy target. See? McMahon also initiated a long physical embrace with Miss Grant, repeatedly telling her that he trusted her, that he could be himself around her, and now he opened his home to her. During one visit to the condo in late April 2019, McMahon did not greet Miss Grant when she entered. He instead called her to his master walk-in closet. As soon as she turned the corner, McMahon emerged from his bathroom wearing only his underwear, briefs. Shocked, Miss Grant turned around and apologized as McMahon laughed and asked her to turn around. He then handed her a shirt and asked her to help with the buttons. McMahon reminded her that he was working hard on her role and said he felt good about her taking care of him. Stop right there. Stop right there. All right, I'm a man, and this man right now is telling this woman, you want a job, do as I say. I'm going to pop out in my underwear in front of you. I'm also going to ask you to help me button up a shirt. And I've only known you a little while. And I feel good about you taking care of me. Yep. My opinion, and this is my opinion only. I don't have to throw it on anybody. I will tell you about it. This dude, exactly. See, I was getting ready to say this dude's crazy. He is grooming this girl to be his, excuse the language, ladies. Please don't think I'm calling anybody this. But he's grooming her to be his little bitch. Do whatever I tell you to do if you want to keep your job. I'm not meaning that towards anyone, but that's exactly what he's doing. He's going to be her sugar daddy, and he's going to take care of her as long as you keep your mouth shut and do exactly as I tell you. And the only reason he's doing that is he's got money, he's got power. He's going to use that money and power and tell her to do this if you want this money and that power. You're a sick son of a bitch. Around that time, McMahon also told Miss Grant that he would never forget how helpless she looked when they first met. Ooh. That he wanted to wrap his arms around her and assured her that everything is going to be okay and that Miss Grant's problems were in the past. McMahon also told Miss Grant that he viewed her as a true friend. However, McMahon advised Miss Grant that people at WWE could never know about their closeness, or else rumors would spawn and threaten them, particularly due to Miss Grant's physical beauty. Okay, she's a beautiful woman. He's got all this money. Don't tell nobody, because if you tell anybody, it's going to cost you your job, basically. Oh, he's done this plenty of times. Like I said, he done that shit with that kiss my ass if you want to keep your job time during the Attitude Era. Why are you going to... Piece of shit in my book. McMahon also emphasized that the circumstances could jeopardize the company. No, the only thing that's jeopardizing the company right now, Mr. Vincent Kennedy McMahon, is you trying to get your little dick wet. I don't have a picture of her yet. I will. I still got another part 3 to do tomorrow night. So I might show the picture tomorrow night. On April 21st, 2019, McMahon unexpectedly invited Miss Grant to his condo to provide her with an update. Upon her arrival, McMahon assured her, Miss Grant, that he was a man of his word and that his office would be in touch with her soon with the right role. As she turned to leave, McMahon grabbed a black electric massager and told Miss Grant to turn around for a demonstration. He quickly moved to rubbing his hands on Miss Grant's upper back before reminding her that she would hear from his office about next steps in day or two. 2 days later, Miss Grant was contacted about further meetings at WWE a week later. Exactly, Sierra. Just like the creepy old motherfucker at the bar during last call. He's thinking, well, man, this last call, and there's nobody here, so I gotta try and do something to get one to go home with me, no matter who it is. So he starts putting his moves on whatever girl's available and close to him. 2 days later, A week later, she met with two high-ranking human resource employees, and we'll refer to him as an human number one and human number two, respectively. Both human number one and human number two provided Miss Grant with their impressions about company culture at WWE and confirmed that the ball was in their court to figure out where she would best fit in at WWE. This is known for tit for tats. It's been going on forever. Well, it has. And most of it don't go by because most of it don't come to the light because people are afraid of the people with money. This just goes to prove that she's not scared to stand up to her attacker. I'll leave before the last call, ladies. Play it safe. Exactly. On May 5th, 2019, Miss Grant visited McMahon's condo again, and the topic of bucket lists come up, during which Miss Grant expressed that she always dreamed of attending the Belmont Stakes. McMahon responded that he would personally acquire 2 tickets for her, which Miss Grant said she could not accept. McMahon then stood up from his chair and knelt in front of the chair where Miss Grant was seated, blocking her from standing. He leaned close to Miss Grant and told her to kiss him. Miss Grant paused and gave Miss McMahon a kiss on the cheek, to which McMahon sighed, "That's not what I meant. What's up, chicken snake?" "I don't know. You need to tell her to come on over." After McMahon walked off to his bedroom and said that he wanted Miss Grant, she swiftly rejected his advances and tried to reason with him that he was putting her in a bad position. Miss Grant pled with McMahon to stop and think about what he was doing. McMahon then begged repeatedly simply to hold Miss Grant out of the fear of her employment and his other implied threats about his legal team, which she did threaten him with a legal team. Like, if you do anything, I got the best legal team in town. You may do it, but that don't mean shit. "What are you doing, chicken snake? It's good to see you, brother." Dealing with problems. Miss Grant laid down in the bed next to McMahon and kept her hands clasped and ankles closed, as she acquiesced in saying that he could only hold her, but nothing more. When Miss Grant tried to make small talk about WWE's TV storyline, McMahon suggested she watch the next episode of Monday Night Raw, and text him before the broadcast. After she agreed, he forcibly kissed her and began pulling down a strap on her sweater. Miss Grant then sat up, said she needed to leave and had a lot to process, and left. The next day, Miss Grant watched the show as she promised and texted McMahon to wish him well. She was shocked when he appeared on the show and texted back in the middle of the live broadcast. I do remember that. I believe I do remember him doing a text message for a live broadcast. He said that was a very nice message. It made me smile. So on May 19th, McMahon. Let's see something, guys. Just for the hell of it. I'll look for it and show it later. You slept in late. Well, I hope you're feeling good, brother. On May 9th, 2019, McMahon texted Miss Grant that she will have a job at WWE by that Friday. The next day, the human number 2 called Miss Grant to inform her that the WWE officer number 4 will contact her at 4 p.m. to discuss a legal role. After a call with officer number 4, Miss Grant sent McMahon a thumbs-up text message to indicate the call went well. At around 7 p.m., WWE corporate officer number 4 unexpectedly called her a second time and formally offered her a job, saying, "Welcome to WWE." On May 11th, 2019, McMahon invited Miss Grant to his condo again and asked her to lay in bed with him before informing her that he had ordered WWE officer to offer her the job, even though a job description had not been firmed up beyond a high-level summary. While incredibly excited to finally receive a long-awaited employment and financial security, Miss Grant expressed to Mr. McMahon that there seemed to be a conflict between his doing this and his warning to Miss Grant that no one can know about their closeness. He appeared amused with this, replying, "It's my company." Exactly, it's my company. I can do what I want to. McMahon then undressed down to his briefs while Miss Grant remained clothed, and he began kissing Miss Grant and inserting his hands into her pants without consent. Excuse me, guys. That's considered rape. Where are you going, 3 Dot? On May 16, 2019, McMahon informed Miss Grant that he had obtained 2 tickets to the Belmont Stakes scheduled for June 8, 2019. On May 17th, Miss Grant received an offer letter from WWE for an entry-level job as legal administrative coordinator with a salary of $75,000. Yes, great. Thank you, Brittany. On May 18th, 2019, Miss Grant was summoned to his condo again, and she brought a printed copy of the offer letter to review with him. McMahon informed Miss Grant that her new boss, a WWE employee who worked in risk and government relations, referred to as WWE employee number 1, was decades-long family friend and a confidant similar in age to McMahon, and one of a small original group, what McMahon called the Titan family, who helped WWE expand from original promotion to a global juggernaut. And who he's talking about there is one of the, it's either Briscoe or the other one. I can't remember the other one's name. I cannot remember the other guy's name, but Briscoe, I can't remember that other one. I forgot, Brittany. I'm sorry. But I do thank you for that. I did forget that. So we'll go to 87 here. Man, 50 more pages of this. Man, was crazy. While we're doing that, guys, y'all hit that like, share, and subscribe. If you have subscribed, thank you so very much. If you haven't, thank you for being here. But please think about subscribing. That way y'all get notified when I go on about stories like this and different kinds of stories. I got a whole bunch coming up, and I may have a surprise for Thursday night's show. Wow, I had 1804 and somebody left. Somebody didn't like what I was talking about. I'm sorry. But I may have a special guest for Thursday's show. I won't know until tomorrow. So we'll see what that happens about. All right, we'll go back to 87 here. McMahon stated that outside of his attorney, WWE number 1 was the most feared figure in the company because number 1 usually fired employees. Beyond that, he offered little detail about WWE number 1, his role at WWE. Instead, he focused on number 1's personal traumas, explaining that, similar to Miss Grant, Number one has no family left after number one's spouse passed away, and that the McMahons and WWE were employee number one's surrogate family. It's the one that I just said. Oh goodness. One was blonde headed and one was black headed. Um, and it's the black headed one, Briscoe, Jerry Briscoe, because the other guy was gay. McMahon touted WWE employee number one's loyalty, saying that number one would be able to protect Miss Grant, and then led her to his bedroom while giving her the command, "Please don't stop this." During the May 18, 2019 encounter, Miss Patterson was the, if I'm not mistaken, Patterson was the gay individual, and Jerry Briscoe was the one that she's calling number one. I may have it backwards, but I think that's the way it is, though. I think Briscoe is the black-headed one, and Patterson was the blonde-headed one, and I think Patterson was the gay gentleman. And I'm not saying nothing about a gay gentleman. That's fine. I don't care how you live your life. As long as you're a good person, you do what you got to do. Hell, Becca's bi. I don't care. Hell, I'm a lesbian in a man's body. And I like it like that. Patterson was the gay gentleman? Okay. I just didn't want to get it wrong, and I was hoping I didn't. Miss Grant felt coerced into engaging in a sexual activity that McMahon had trapped her in an impossible situation, as she feared adverse career and personal. What's wrong, Sarah? Oh, about what I said. Consequences and legal retaliation if she declined his advances. McMahon stated that this is what I've been waiting for, as he performed. Oh, you see what he performed on Miss Grant. Miss Grant asked that protection be used, and McMahon responded that there was no need to worry because he was clean. Ladies and men, I'm going to go ahead and say it. I'm a man. I'm 55 years old. I don't care what I say anymore. Men will always say, "I'm clean," even if they're not. That's right, Sarah. You tell them, darling. Hello, Kristen. You're fine. I still got just a little bit to go. But most men will say that they're clean, and some I'm gonna give it. I'm gonna go 80%, 85% will be clean. The other 15% are just looking to get something wet. They looking to get a nut. Feeling that she was being used for his gratification, Miss Grant went numb and was unable to make eye contact. All right, guys, and women, trigger warning. Is that not one of the, I don't know, so I won't say, but that's why I'm asking women. If a woman goes numb and is unable to make eye contact, is that not considered part of being raped? If I'm wrong, let me know, because I don't want to say anything that's wrong up here. But feeling numb and not making eye contact. Is that not part of it? Is that not what it would be? McMahon then flipped on his back and said, "Okay, help my buddy off the horse." You know, his buddy's called Jack. Help Jack off the horse. Well, no, not in that situation, but is that not a feeling of that? And to me, she's doing it to keep a job, and she's afraid of the consequences because he's got all this money, and she's financially unstable to take care of anything. So she's in fear of his retaliation. Disturbed by the non-consensual sexual encounter, she hoped that McMahon would cease his advances. But his advances continued and left her to fulfill his demands or lose her job. Kiki, hey girl. On June 16th, the day before starting with WWE, Miss Grant attempted to shut down any further physical contact or sexual encounters by admitting to McMahon her unhappiness and concerning starting her first ever job in his legal department, no less, while in physical relationship with the chairman and CEO. She requested that they end any physical relationship while remaining friends to avoid any risk of either of them. McMahon refused, saying that it was not ending, it did not need to, and that he did not ever envision it ending. So he's telling her, no, bitch, you're going to keep doing your job at the office and in my bedroom. That's exactly what he's telling her. And I'm sorry I said the word bitch, but no, Miss Grant, we're going to keep doing this in the bedroom, and you're going to keep working at the office. End of story. And she's afraid of him suing her for defamation and all this, or whatever he can sue her for. He reminded her that he trusted her, reiterated that rumors would lead to trouble, probed whether her silence would be an issue, and brushed off concerns that she was struggling with, the feeling that her job felt unearned. McMahon told Miss Grant that all she needed to do was not tell anyone, and that it just has to look legit. Let's see here. All right. McMahon then spun the conversation and told Miss Grant to focus on the positives and embrace that her life was about to change. I mean, if she had to deal with all this, that'd give her a lot of stress and post-traumatic disorder complex. I'm just saying. I can't remember if it said her age or not. I'll get all that information and do that tomorrow at the end, okay? Give me just a second, guys. Where was that? Life was about to change, saying, isn't that what you've always wanted? McMahon manipulatively emphasized that she's about to start an adventure and gain a new family with the WWE as a surrogate for the family that she had lost. Ultimately, Miss Grant's unsuccessful attempt to end further unwanted physical contact quickly taught her that her view on the matter was not relevant. Sorry, guys, relative. Miss Grant's WWE career commences. Minimal work and an absent boss. On June 17, 2019, Miss Grant reported to WWE headquarters for her first day of work with attorneys in glass offices and support staff in cubicles with low walls and tall monitors. It was easy to see how much other colleagues worked. As a quiet and small department, it was even easier to overhear their conversations. I know the Blue Meanie. I know the Blue Meanie that worked in ECW. Is that the one you're talking about? Or is it a different one? Give me just a second, guy. All right. That is awesome. But I don't know if that's the same one I know, though, because there was another Blue Meanie. Yeah, the Blue Meanie I know of worked for ECW before coming to McMahon or WWE. I'm sorry. This was back in the Attitude Era. And I always say the Attitude Era. That was back when they done the war with WCW and ECW and all that. Where was we at? On June 17, 2019, Miss Grant reported to WWE headquarters for her first day of work. Oh, I done read that. Miss Grant was immediately surprised that there was not much work assigned to her, struggling even to appear busy in her new role. In a stark contrast to colleagues who complained about overflowing inboxes, Miss Grant's phone only overflowed with controlling and sexually charged text messages from the chairman and CEO, reminding her both McMahon's power and ever-present surveillance. Colleagues shared onboarding stories with Miss Grant and talked about receiving pre-made binders of information or the opportunity to shadow departing employees, none of which happened for Miss Grant, nor did anyone know what her unusual title of administrator coordinator meant. All right, guys, give me just a second, and I'm gonna look for something. So give me just a second, okay? And I will look. Let's see here. All right, guys, this is Miss Janelle Grant. This is Miss Janelle Grant. This is the lady right here. This is the one that's doing that got the lawsuit out. If anybody can see that. It was WWF back then. It's either been WWF or WWE. And let's see. And the lady that I'm talking about is Janelle Grant, 43 years old as of right now. So back then, she would have been what? let's see, 24. She would have been, what, 38, 39? She'd have been 38 or 39. All right. Go back. All right, guys, I'm on page 19. I'm going to read to page probably 22 and then stop there. Miss Grant did not even meet WWE employee number one until her second week of employment. Employee number one was a lively individual who frequently regaled the legal department with stories of others at WWE. If McMahon's name was mentioned, employee number one would turn to Miss Grant with a smile, a finger point, and a comment that drew attention to her connection to McMahon, such as, "She knows what I'm talking about." Employee number one and Miss Grant bonded as quickly as McMahon had predicted. Miss Grant referred to as partner, who taught words to live by in WWE, including, "We do what in the best interest of the company. Protect the business, and McMahon wants something. The answer isn't no, but rather, how do we make it happen?" Employee number one also impressed on Miss Grant that the job titles didn't mean anything for members of McMahon's inner circle, which she clearly she was considered part of. As number one was seldom in the office and required little administrative support, Miss Grant reported indirectly to another WWE employee within the legal department. Yeah. Employee number two, who provided her with occasional projects related to talent, appearances, and XFL that helped fill Miss Grant's time. Based on hiring alone, officer number four was on notice that there was something different about Miss Grant, namely her connection to McMahon. As Miss Grant feared and had expressed to McMahon, she was unhappy that a spotlight was unnecessarily put on her before she ever set foot in office. Miss Grant immediately noticed that corporate officer number four was warm with colleagues but cold toward her. Beginning July 2019, after Miss Grant raised an issue related to XFL's performance enhanced drug policy with McMahon, corporate officer number four's behavior shifted from cold to actively hostile. Sorry, guys. If Miss Grant walked into a room while the officer number four was laughing with colleagues, officer number four's expression immediately became blank, and number four would walk away if Miss Grant walked into the room. If number four and Miss Grant walked towards each other in the hallway, number four stopped and changed directions. Colleagues noticed this shift in behavior, while some commented on it to Miss Grant's, others emulated it. Oh, guys. Notwithstanding the issues detailed above, Miss Grant took her employment seriously. In contrast, McMahon continued a pattern of sending sexually charged messages through the work week. Certain her employment depended on her continued appeasement of obedience to McMahon and believing she needed McMahon's protection from the suspicious WWE officer number four. And the one I'm thinking about officer number four is Triple H. I think he's officer number four because he's seeing what's going on. And I'll give my opinion on Triple H. Triple H is a good guy. He does play the bad guy, but I think that he's the good guy on this, and he sees what's going on, and he don't like it because this is some bullshit that's going to separate or is already separating his mother and father-in-law. Now, he may not care about them being separated, but it's seeing that it's hurting Stephanie, which is his daughter. Which is his wife, which is McMahon's daughter, and he sees that it's hurting her, that this shit's going on. So he may be officer number 4. That's just my opinion. I don't know, but I know Triple H is a good guy. Let's see. From all this, Miss Grant began to experience debilitating panic attacks in the office on nearly a daily basis. That left her physically drained. She could not hide the physical symptoms of these attacks and texted resident manager, "You should see the way people look at me when I'm having an attack." But while her co-workers noticed, no one dared get involved. See, this is the part where, and you know, we say this about the kids. If you see something, say something. If you think a woman, guys, this bothers me to no end. If you see a woman, it might have been because WWF, they had to change from WWF because of the an Animal Planet show or something like that. I was just reading some more on that WWE thing going on with Vince McMahon. But if you see something, say something. If it's about a woman and you think she's being abused or you think she's being assaulted in any way, be a fucking man and step up. I'm talking to men. If you think that you know of a woman being assaulted, it don't matter who it is. Step the fuck up. Because, I mean, no offense, I don't care who it is, and I'm not talking anything like that because names are just names, guys. If I see a man hit a woman, I'm going to step the fuck in. But if I see a man call a woman, excuse the language, if I see a man call a woman a cunt or a dumbass or a bitch, that's just a name. Does that mean you are what that name is? No. You know what would piss somebody off if this is the way I think. Now I may be wrong. So if I'm wrong, you tell me. But this is the way I've always thought. If a man calls a woman a bitch, a cunt, whatever, it's just words. So if you don't like it, either turn your head, let it go, or look at the man and say, "Thank you." It's just going to piss him off. It's just going to piss that man off if he calls you a dirty ass name and you just smile at him and say, "Thank you." Don't go lower than him. Be better than him. And if a man, like me, I had a mom and a dad. I don't like the name son of a bitch or bastard because I had a mom and a dad. And it does irritate me, but I just let it slide over. Just goes right over top of my head because it's just fucking words, people. Okay. Let's use Chicken Snake. Are you still in here? Hello, Jeffrey. That's because we're wiser, Tina. As we get older, we become wiser. Thank you, Summer Thunder. Exactly. I like Sierra's thing there. Well, I would say let it roll off my forehead like a sweat drop. Yeah, just let it roll off. So if a man calls you a name, don't worry about it. But if you see a man bitch smack a woman, hit a woman, knock her out, knock her to the ground, man, you better step the fuck up. If you're not, you just as weak as the motherfucker that hit her. I'm a man and I love my wife to death. Let me see. Yeah, I used to wrestle back in the day. Heart attack took me down. But if you see a man hit a woman and you don't do nothing, yeah, you're just as bad as he is. But You can call Becca all you want to. That don't mean she is. But you hit Becca, you better give your soul to God because your ass is mine. I'm going to fuck you up. Becca is my old lady. And if anybody knows any biker clubs or anything, old lady is a term of endearment. That means I'll kill for Becca, I'll die for Becca, and I'll damn sure protect her. So don't ever smack her. Or you won't have to worry about your next meal or waking up the next morning. Because if I don't hurt you bad, you're going to eat through a straw or a tube. So if you see a woman get hit, take up for that woman, no matter who she is. If you're walking down the street and there's a homeless lady sitting there and you see her old man smack her and you don't know them from Adam, you better take up for that woman. Because that's the right thing to do. Now, if he's sitting there calling her dumb names and shit like that, don't get involved. Because that's just words. Punching a woman's physical. That's a different story, in my opinion. So, we'll go on here. In the summer of 2019, McMahon's presence was all-consuming in Miss Grant's life in the office. She felt monitored as she was surrounded by allies of McMahon. Now, let me finish this and I'll tell you something. Which led to the continued daily panic attacks. Outside the office, McMahon sexualized her entirely. He no longer referred to her as a friend and largely stopped talking to Miss Grant outside of sexting and fantasy talking. Any non-sexual texts related to life and or work were either ignored or given token responses like okay and yep. All right, I'm going to stop right there and then tell you this. All right, I'm 55 years old right now, 55. 50 years ago, I was 5 years old. And in my head, my very first memory that I can remember all the way back in was an argument my mom and my dad got into. I can tell you where it happened. I can tell you what happened. I can't tell you what it was over because I was too young to even know. But I seen my mom and dad at 5 years old arguing. And I can still see this in my head to this day. And both my mom and dad are gone on to heaven. And they reconciled and dad never done it again. Thank goodness. But I seen my dad hit my mom, and my mom wore glasses all of her life. He hit her so hard that her glasses flew 100 feet and slid under the car under our car. I can see that in slow motion. I can see her glasses fly off. His hand hit her face. Her jaw sink in as her hand's hitting it, and her glasses fly off, bounce, and hit the ground and go under a car. That was my first ever memory that I can remember, guys. That's still in my head to this day. Now, they made up. Dad never done it again. He apologized. He was drinking. He cut down on his drinking. It's just a memory that I've got in my head. And don't do that to a woman. Don't do that to a woman. That's ridiculous, guys. See? Mavs knows what I'm talking about. And he's not saying old lady. He's saying old. There's a difference. An old lady is old. Old lady means your better half, your ride or die, your thick and thin. She's your jelly to your peanut butter sandwich. She's your crackers to your fucking chicken noodle soup or your beef stew or whatever. She is the better half that walks not behind you, but beside you. So, just like I tell everybody, Becca, when I was born, God took a rib and he made a woman for me. I had to wait so many years, but he gave me my rib back in Becca. I was married once before. I married my second time. The second time was the right time. So Becca's my old lady, not old, and it bothered her until I explained to her what I mean by it. I don't mean no disrespect. Hold on just a minute, guys. That's what I always say. She's my ride or die, Sierra. All right. Let's go on here. As detailed herein, McMahon was adamant about having Miss Grant send him explicit photographs. Yes, it is Summer Thunder, and thank you, Jeffrey. Everybody put their channels in here. Come on. Put your channels in here. What was that? Impressing upon her that it was part of her sexuality. Yeah, it's rough, E-Rock. Given the control that McMahon had over Miss Grant's employment, she felt compelled to comply and sent the explicit photographs to McMahon's mobile device. All right, now see, that's her, and I know, and I know I hope she kept a diary of all this, and I hope she kept the photographs if he sent her anything on text. But okay, I don't know, guys. Miss Grant were to remain private and were part of their secret world. McMahon began to degrade Miss. See what I mean? See, I told you this a while ago. Well, there's nothing wrong with that. I'll be there, Team Rose. McMahon began to degrade Miss Grant, calling her his bitch. Did I not say that earlier? Go get it, Team Rose. I don't care, honey. You let me put mine in yours, so you're more than welcome to do one. Well, you're welcome, Sierra. Thank you. While hinting at a fascination with having other people watch them engage in sexual activity. Additionally, this complaint details encounters during which McMahon caused Miss Grant to sustain physical injuries, including bleeding and pain from forceful use of sex toys. Despite Miss Grant's pleas to cease any further sexual activity, the number of encounters increased, as did McMahon's physical aggression during them. So he was getting a little rough. He started out easy. Yeah, go ahead, put it in here. Now, Mab, you're a mod now. You can put your own in here. Oh no. I love Becca's my cheese to my spam sandwich. Yes, she is. Notably, McMahon was most aggressive when using the certain toys named after male wrestlers and performers. Oh my goodness. He had a Bobby Lashley, Brock Lesnar. McMahon named the toys so that the color of the toy matched the race of the wrestler. See? Okay, and what I'm saying here Bobby Lashley is a African American wrestler. And you know who um, Brock Lesnar is. See, so in addition to McMahon's infatuation with pretending that other men, and namely certain WWE talent, were in the room with them, this was yet another incremental step in desensitizing Miss Grant to his fantasy. Okay, I was getting ready to say, don't forget yours. And eventual demands that she perform sexual acts and her sexual contacts with others within the WWE. So he started pimping her out afterwards. During a David versus Goliath wrestling type match in 2019, Miss Grant shared with McMahon her thoughts on the event of the draw of rooting for her underdog and ideas for future events. McMahon complimented her creative input. She believed she was being taken seriously, that is, until McMahon named a blank after the smaller wrestler and attempted to sexualize the situation, diminishing her input. By fall of 2019, McMahon frequently pressed for pornographic videos and more explicit content. When Miss Grant expressed apprehension with requests, McMahon responded with assurances that she could trust him or questioned why she didn't trust him. McMahon also took care to remind Miss Grant of his power and influence, such as by flaunting a meeting with Saudi Crown Prince in October 2019. McMahon tightens his grip on Miss Grant and discredits her doctor, replacing him with one of McMahon's choosing. So, see, he could have had her go to the doctor and take a fucking flu shot, and they could have put a chip in her, and he could have followed her anywhere. He's got the money to do it. Yeah. Well, I'm already subbed up to you, Matt, but anybody wants to go over and sub up to these people, drop their link in there. These people have been kind enough to let me drop their link in theirs. So y'all please go sub up to them. In addition to her panic attacks, Miss Grant began experiencing increasingly severe physical, mental, and emotional symptoms. Thank you, Angel. I thought somebody had already got it, Brittany. I'm sorry. Including sleep disruption, dizziness, exhaustion, rashes, weight loss, hair loss, and migraines. In November 2019, Miss Grant informed McMahon that her doctor suggested that her symptoms stem from trauma and ongoing stress. Wonder where the stress was coming from. McMahon mocked her emotional trauma, my ass. However, in November 20 2019, McMahon insisted that Miss Grant see a physician of his choosing. The physician is referred to herein as celebrity doctor, and the facility that the celebrity doctor operated from is referred to herein as alternative clinic. McMahon and celebrity doctor assured Grant that her bills at alternative clinic would be taken care of under McMahon's account. After the initial visit, it became apparent that Miss Grant that McMahon and celebrity doctor wanted Miss Grant to remain in the care of the celebrity doctor's practice, and Miss Grant felt pressure to do so. Celebrity doctor made comments about how celebrity doctor, they, referring to McMahon and alternative clinic, had saved her life. And celebrity doctor often remarked how Miss Grant was unable to even make eye contact with the doctor during his initial session, and obvious signs of trauma. I'm going to read down to one night. We'll go. Miss Grant acknowledged having a relationship with McMahon during visits with the celebrity doctor, who gave little reaction, save telling her there were many different paths to God in love. Oh, hell no. He done used her faith. All right, I'm going to stop right there because that's on page 23, but we'll finish tomorrow. But he's done used his lawyers, his power, his money, all that good shit. And now he's using Christianity and her faith to make her do what he wants her to do, to make her be his little bitch. Guys, in my opinion, Vincent Kennedy McMahon, ex-owner of WWE, is a piece of shit. He's a vile human being. He's a vile male, and he should be considered to be put away for a long time. His money shouldn't be able to help him. His power with the company that he had shouldn't be able to help him. And he's going to try and say, well, he's built up a company. He's going to try and say, I've built up communities because he went to places that built up communities. No, when you went to places to set up wrestling arenas, you took away from the community with the money that them people could have used for something else. So you could be rich. You could do what you want to and all that. So, no. And your actions on TV back in the 80s, that kiss my ass thing, will be evidence against you. So there's that. So guys, I'll finish reading tomorrow. We might even have to go to a fourth and a fifth because there's 67 pages of this stuff. 67 pages of just this woman by herself. And I'm saying there's probably more. So guys, if you don't care on your way out, please hit the like, share, and subscribe. If you have subscribed, I thank you very much. Let me take this down so y'all can see me. If you have subscribed, thank you very much. If you haven't, thank you for being here. If you would like to help the channel, you can do so in the Cash App or the PayPal. That's not required. It would be very much appreciated because I work at Domino's and they don't pay much, as y'all know. But it's not required. The only requirement is y'all come in here, you have a good time with family and friends. These people that in here that are subscribed are not subscribers. They're not members. They're family to me. I love every single one of these people that's come in here and shown love. I love everybody that's come in here. Y'all just really don't know how much y'all mean to me. Thank you, Re-Rock. It was good having you here again. But don't forget, I'm going to do this again tomorrow. And Becca's going to go live in an hour. So y'all go over and show her some love, please. She's going to go live. So y'all guys be good. I love each and every one of you. Please be here tomorrow. Thank you, Jeffrey. And we're going over part 3 of this. It's good to have you. Thank you, E-Rock. Swing over and say hi. So everybody that was here tonight, thank you for being here. I will be here again tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern for part 3. Now, next week will probably be part 4 because Thursday, I'm hoping to have a special guest, and Friday is the bonfire. Saturday is the concert. So y'all, please come in. And hopefully Thursday, we'll have a special guest. I was supposed to have a special guest, and I'll talk about that more later. But the one that I want to come on tomorrow night is a good guy. I just want to know his story. So if y'all come over and y'all see it, please be respectful of my guest. Thank you, Joni. Much love and respect to everybody here. Joni's always here with us. And yes, prayers to Rocket Queen. And if y'all would like to help, please go up there to the pinned comment at the top of the chat. And if you can help out that way, hit that link and go over there and help them that way. If you can't, please send prayers out to her. Rocket's been a day one. She's day one ever since I've hit the play button on the StreamYard. So y'all go over and show her some love. And we'll see y'all tomorrow night. And remember that we never say bye here because bye's too permanent. We always say see you, okay? Don't ever say bye to anybody. And don't go to bed with hate in your heart, guys. Seriously, don't go to bed with hate in your heart. Always go to bed with love in your heart. I always tell Becca every night before I close my eyes and before she closes her eyes, we kiss each other. We tell each other we love you. So that way, in case anything happens, I know she loved me and she knows that I love her. And my kids also. I always tell them good night and love them before they go to sleep. Because you're not guaranteed tomorrow, guys. Okay? You really ain't. But much love and respect to each and every one of you. I got to do something for Tina right quick. Let me do this. Thank you, Tina, for...
Cause I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make.
Yo, I got a lot of shit to say, so I'ma do this every day. I'll be writing things until I'm fucking buried in my grave.
Thank you very much, Tina. It was very much appreciated. I just now seen it, so thank you. And you can also help the channel by becoming a member. After you hit the button and it says join, you don't become a member. You become family. So love each and every one of you. Y'all have a good night. Stay safe, stay warm, stay dry. And it was good seeing everybody here tonight. Love each and every one of you. And remember, no buys. See you. So see y'all tomorrow night. Love y'all.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up